Hello, good afternoon, Joseph Hennessy. The name of the channel is The Children. On YouTube it's Joseph Hennessy 1161. I am a starseed, a light worker, a rainbow warrior, an empath, a kind, caring, compassionate human being, a spiritual being who came to earth to have human experiences, to do what I'm doing exactly now, to talk about leading people to the fifth dimension. I always wondered what my calling was, and this is it. And I know a lot of the things I say is hard to believe, but like I say, if you believe in the Holy Father, in the universe, and the powers to be, then you should believe in things that you can't see that are coming, because we've been dumbed down for so long to believe the narrative on Mother Gaia that we are one and done, but we're infinite beings. You take a veil of forgetfulness to have human experiences during each lifetime. You work on different aspects during different lives. You've been rich, you've been poor, you've been oppressor, you've been oppressed, you've been black, you've been white, you've been gay, you've been straight, man, woman, you've been everything. That's what it's all about, to have human experiences in the duality. Because where we come from in the fifth dimension, the higher dimensions, there is no duality. There is no density like we do here, because you came here to experience this. Earth is a test planet that keeps going wrong, so the experiment is over. No more low density, no more wars, no more infiltration by evil people, because the world is run by the Greys, the Anunnaki. They've been talking about them for years and years and years. If you do your research on the Anunnaki, they exist. They're the ones who live in Antarctica. That's why we can't go to Antarctica. Why do they have jets protecting Antarctica? Also, places like the Grand Canyon, there's 6 sections you can't fly over. What are they hiding? All our history is lies. They're unearthing pyramids all over the planet as we speak. They're starting to talk about extraterrestrials. Atlas A1 comet is on its way. It's not a comet, it's a spaceship. It's a 12th Dimension Galactic Federation ship, the GFL, Galactic Federation of Light. They're the ones who are the overseers of this project of us ascending to the fifth dimension. They watch us all the time. There's millions of ships up in the night skies that are cloaked. In the morning when I get up, I watch lights and orbs and ships fly across the sky all the time. And I welcome anybody to join me one morning and have a cup of coffee and watch with me, if you think I'm making it up or crazy. They're not satellites, because satellites are a bunch of crap. There's no pictures of satellites from space, because they can't get to space. They send them up on balloons and they come down on parachutes. NASA is the biggest purchaser of helium on the planet. Why? They doing hot air balloon rides? I don't think so, but we live in an illusion, a matrix. It's all lies. It's just all about money laundering and enslaving us. But anyway, I'm sitting here at Fiesta Gardens Park. They have a park over there for kids, and they have a lock on the door, which I find kind of appalling. We don't want your kids playing in our park. The world we live in, nobody thinks about anybody else. It's me, me, me. Kids playing in a park. But anyway, I was sitting at Facebook yesterday, and the big news is about Tylenol causing autism. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Because the real culprit is the American Medical Association and Big Pharma and all the vaccines, all 72 to 100 of them. All the kids die from SIDS within 3 days of a wellness check where they're shot up with some poison. No clinical trials on vaccines, because Big Pharma, they don't care. Just throw a few $1 billion at it down the road after they made billions of dollars. It's all just a big scam. But it's kind of ironic how things work out where people just set themselves up for me. I was sitting at Facebook and 3 Indians walked by and they're talking about Tylenol and they're laughing at Trump and RFK Jr. And I happened to say something to them. I go, what are you laughing at? I go, Tylenol does cause autism. And they started laughing. I go, is that really funny? I go, the real culprit is vaccines. And I go, is that even funnier? Because they were laughing. I said, I bet you all lined up to take that experimental vaccine. An experimental vaccine that takes 10 years to produce, but they made it in a couple of months. But the fake news, they pick bits and pieces of what Donald Trump and RFK Jr. said. They get all their cronies come out and say that these guys are trying to kill kids, which they're trying to save kids' lives. Do your own research. RFK Jr. was a lawyer suing Big Pharma for the last 20 years, winning. Nobody seemed to have a problem with him then. But see, all these people who work in Congress are all paid shills from Big Pharma. They're all on the TV set getting saline solutions injected into their arms because they know that what they're pushing is poison. The VAERS report, Vaccine Accident Emergency Reporting Services. Google it. Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Robert Malone, world-class doctors, silence when they begged them to stop injecting everybody with the poison. But they're still out there pushing it. These guys laughing who work at Facebook, 3 Indian guys. Are they educated? How can you make such ignorant statements? Laughing. When I was a kid, 1 in 19,000 or 30,000 had autism. It's 1 in 19 or 33. And it's even higher in California. Why is that? This is the most liberal, horrible place where everybody's just bought and paid for shills, especially our governor. No on 50. They control everything in California and they're trying to rig it even worse so they can control even more of California, because they know if they lose California, they're doomed. And they're losing it. When does it stop? They're making kids sick. Vaccines are poison. And these guys from Facebook are laughing. Their boss made them take a vaccine. Now he's up in Washington saying that Joe Biden made him censor everybody. When he had all those clowns in the White House, he had them all capitulate because they're all evil. They were all vaccine pushers. They all did what they were told by the last administration. It's coming to an end. We need to rise up as a collective, as humanity, as one people of God. They're still doing their best to try to divide us. The Charlie Kirk death, it galvanized more people than it divided, but the ones that it did divide, it divided them into places where it just makes no sense. The extreme right and the extreme left are out of control. The people in the center, the normal people who are just sick and tired of the government, one side against the other, where they all work for the same team anyway. They all work for Big Pharma. All our congressmen and senators all take money from AIPAC, which is the Zionist. And I'm not going to get on to Bibi Netanyahu today, but that man is just pure evil. They're trying to start world wars, but it's not going to happen. People are rising up all over the world. Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales. They're doing the same shit there as they're doing here. They're trying to ruin great countries. Why? Because it's all part of their plan. Divide and conquer. But it's not going to work. It's not working. People need to realize and start using their own intuition. Stop watching the news, any type of news. I've been running on my intuition for the last 4 years and it hasn't let me down yet. But like I said, it's easy for me to do this because I have no ties to the matrix. But I'm going to show everybody how it's done, how you can turn your life around. I was a godless soul 5.5 years ago. Now I work for God. And it's an honor. And it's all about being altruistic for me. I just want to be known as a good person who loved humanity, loved his fellow man. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've said a lot of bad things. And I'm sure people can come at me with things that I've posted, but that's okay. I accept responsibility for everything I've ever done. I've never wished death on anybody. I've never wished any harm on anybody. I just said stupid things to get reactions out of people. But I'm a spirit in training. I still have my 3D traits that like to come out. But one day at a time, I'm going to change. We're going to change. We're going to live on the new earth, the new Gaia, where there is abundance, love, peace, joy, freedom. You just play to your heart's content, sing, dance. We just love each other. But don't let them lower your frequency. Stay high vibe. Put your feet in the dirt. Get out. Play. Take a salt bath. Close your eyes. Stay away from energy vampires. Everybody has them in their family. People who just suck the life out of you. Wish them love and light. Do what you got to do. Everybody have a blessed, wonderful day. The light wins. The dark is losing. Beautiful days are coming. God bless.